Hang tight, David. We got technical errors down here. Here we go. Good afternoon and welcome into our WBAY newsroom. I'm Chris Roth. Thanks for joining us here as our First Alert FASTCAST lets you know what we are working on today to get you set for, let's see here. We are having some technical difficulties today, so let's find out exactly what's happening. It looks like our graphics do not want to work today. So you'll just have to take my word for it that I am who I say I am. But let's get you caught up on what we're working on today for you here at WBAY as we interrupt local news live to bring you the things that the stories that we're working on. So let's start with this one. Green Bay police have released the name of the woman whose body was found in the East River on Saturday. Police confirming that that body was in fact 22-year-old Yvonne Benitez. The 22-year-old from Bellevue was missing for about a week. Police issued a missing persons alert for her, saying she was last seen around 11:30 p.m. on Friday, April 12th. She was reported missing on the 15th. The body was found by a search party this past Saturday, and they called 911. The medical examiner confirming the identity. With an autopsy, they did not find any indications of foul play. Mile of Music organizers today announcing the first 50 new and returning artists who will perform at the 4-day music festival around downtown Appleton, of course. Tuesday marks 100 days until the Mile of Music's 11th festival, which runs August 1st through Sunday, August 4th. These 50 artists include 6 from Wisconsin, 44 come from 14 other states and 3 countries. 31 of the 50 will be performing at the Mile of Music Festival for the very first time. And the Green Bay Phoenix making it official. That's former star player Kayla Tetschlag, now Kayla Carius, and she is going to be the new head coach, taking over for Kevin Borseth. The story broke last night. The school making it official this morning. Kayla spent the last 2 seasons at South Dakota. She's led the Yotes to winning seasons in both years, including 23 wins and an NIT berth this past season. When she played for the Phoenix, she was part of 4 conference championship teams, 3 NCAA tournament teams. That included a run to the Sweet 16 in 2011. That year, she was a senior. She was also named the Conference Player of the Year. Green Bay will have a press conference introducing Kayla as the next head coach of the Phoenix coming up on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. All right, let's see if we can get the sky cams up and working here today. Before we get to David Ernst and weather, you can see what's happening in Sturgeon Bay. It is raining, it is wet, and there is more of that coming our way. David, how much more?
Well, it's really just going to depend on where you are. There could be some areas that pick up a quick quarter to a half an inch of rainfall if you get caught under one of those thunderstorms, and there'll be areas in between those storms that maybe you just see a few sprinkles or perhaps stay totally dry. So it's not going to be a heavy soaking rain for everybody. We've got some hit and miss type showers and a few thunderstorms that are popping up right now on First Alert Viper Max. At this particular time in northeastern Wisconsin, we have just registered just under 20 lightning strikes here over the area in the last 5 minutes, and we will continue to look for that rain and storm activity to drop on in. So let me get you in here to First Alert Viper Max. We'll take a closer look where we had the sky camera there, Sturgeon Bay. You can see the heavier rainfall is right over Sturgeon Bay, sliding out. The bay itself is starting to open back up, but you've got 6 lightning strikes, all generally right along the bay shore of Door County. I'm going to go ahead and take the lightning off of there. Now, some of these more intense storms might put down a little bit of small hail. Nothing showing up right here with that cell in Sturgeon Bay, and elsewhere as you look to the north, I see one little speck there in Florence County, but nothing too widespread. From a hail standpoint, if we see any hail, it's likely to be of the smaller variety, penny, pea size, dime size, that type of hail. This activity is subtly dropping to the south, and we will eventually see some of these showers and thunderstorms down into Green Bay and the Fox Valley. It's easier to see the trend as you look here on the wider view. You're looking over the last 3 hours. You can see the activity coming out of northern Wisconsin just kind of subtly dropping towards the south. So eventually we would be looking for that to start moving our way. Now, as we get into the late afternoon and evening hours, we will see those storms move through. After they come through, winds will stay strong, and it's going to be cooling off quite a bit. We have had wind gusts so far today, 30, 40 miles per hour, so the wind has been rather strong. At this hour, let me go ahead and pull the wind direction up, and you can see that that wind shift is occurring over northern Wisconsin. So upper Michigan, far northern Wisconsin into a northerly breeze. Everybody else is still into that westerly wind. So when you're in the west winds, temperatures are staying mild, and you get into that northerly flow, and temperatures cool off quite dramatically. 50 degrees on the dot right now in Rhinelander. Meanwhile, it is 70 in Appleton. So temperatures are certainly warm where we haven't had the rain and the storms move through. But we are looking at a cool down once this activity comes through the area, and we will see a quiet weather for a few days. But as we work our way towards the end of this week, conditions will turn unsettled once again. So as far as things go for the next few hours, look for those scattered showers and thunderstorms to push on through. Wouldn't expect severe weather, but it's possible that we do see a stronger storm or two in the mix, with hail being the most likely threat for anything that would go severe. Temperatures will then be about 20 degrees or so colder for tomorrow. Our highs will likely stay in the upper half of the 40s, despite plenty of sunshine all day long. Thursday, we will warm it back to about average, upper 50s for a high there, mostly sunny skies, and then clouds start to roll back into the area late Thursday, and we're looking at several days of unsettled weather as we finish out this week and get into next week. It will begin on Friday, at some point Friday afternoon, early to mid-afternoon. The way things are looking, we would see some showers, a few thunderstorms develop, and then watch for additional scattered storms in the area on Saturday. We'll follow that up with another round of widespread rain and storms on Sunday. If there's any day in this stretch that looks like it would be a washout, Sunday looks to be that day where the rain is most widespread. After that, we'll get into a few additional lingering showers there on Monday, especially early, and then our weather should quiet down for a few days next week. Temperatures in general are close to average. The exception will be on Wednesday, where we are colder than that with highs in the upper 40s. And then on Saturday, it looks like we'll get into the 70s for a day there. But every other day on the extended after today is upper 50s and low 60s, which, again, that's typical for late April.
All right, and so is all that wet weather, and we're going to need it. And then, like we said yesterday, it's going to tee us up really nicely for No Mo May. All right, David, thanks so much. We'll see you coming up on Action 2 News at 4. Meteorologist David Ernst joining us, and I apologize, I couldn't get his graphics up there quick enough because we were having problems with our graphics, but they are now working. In fact, I can show you, let's bring this up, today's menu. Some of the other stories we'll be working on. Here we go, 4 o'clock, Missing Persons Awareness Month. Brittany Schmidt going to be highlighting this important month, culminates with a free event coming up this weekend. She's going to MC that, but she's going to tell us a whole lot more about it coming up starting on Action 2 News at 4. Really interesting conversation coming your way at 4:30. It is an exclusive with NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly. Now, he's the guy in charge of, his title's a really long one, club business, international, and league events. So what falls under that rather large umbrella? The NFL draft. This is the guy in charge. He is the guy in charge of getting the sites selected and getting them organized. So obviously we're going to talk about Green Bay, which goes on the clock after the draft this weekend. And as he told me in our discussion, they really start stomping on that gas pedal starting Sunday when things wrap up in Detroit on Saturday night. They really get to work on the draft in Green Bay starting this Sunday. He's also in charge of the international games, so he walks us through the process of how the Packers were chosen to play in that season opening game in Brazil. Again, an exclusive conversation coming up on Action 2 News at 4:30. At 5 o'clock, Jason Zimmerman has more on a GB Correctional Institution roundtable discussion that was held in Madison today. Obviously, you know the backstory of this. A lot of people would like to see this aging facility replaced, particularly the village of Alloway and state lawmakers. It is just becoming very costly to run. It is not safe. Those problems well documented. Again, it was front and center today in Madison. And at 6 o'clock, Stacey Engelbrettson's WBAY Cares, Options for Independent Living. That's a Green Bay area nonprofit she's going to feature, helping families adjust to a new way of life. So that's coming up at 6 o'clock. We also want to remind you, coming up very shortly here, starting in fact tomorrow night. Let's get this called up for you, and hold on 1 second. Again, Gremlins. Let's do this. Let's do that. Get this out of there, and now we can play this for you. Because tomorrow night, we talk about NFL Draft, Cover 2 Draft Edition. Our annual draft preview comes your way live at 6:30 to 7:30. The whole gang will be here to help break down the draft, which starts on Thursday night. Of course, you can watch the draft right here on WBAY throughout the entire weekend. The Packers with 11 picks, so there is a lot to break down and preview, and we will do that tomorrow night on Cover 2 Draft Edition starting at 6:30. Well, that does it for our First Alert FastCast. We apologize for some of the technical gremlins, but the hamsters are spinning quickly now. Everything's working fine, so we're ready to go. If anything should pop up, we'll bring it to you. Until then, have a great afternoon, and we will see you coming up tonight on Action 2 News at 4, 4:35, and 6 o'clock. Till then, have a great afternoon.